Hello everyone, this is Kanimuli from Agricultural Biotechnology Department, Bharat Institute of Higher Education Research. Today we are going to uh, discuss on centrifugation technique, which is comes under analytical instrumentation. So here you can see the image of centrifuge, which is used for separation of the components. Here you can see the two knobs. Okay, the one knob for adjusting the RPM, that is revolution per minute. Okay, so you can adjust the speed by using this knob, and another knob is to adjust the time. Okay, so here you can see the tubes. Okay, so here the tube. This is the rotor. So mostly this type of centrifuge available in small scale laboratories. So what the definition for centrifugation? Centrifugation is the process which is used to separate or concentrate material which is suspended in the liquid medium. You are going to separate and concentrate the material, okay, which is in the liquid medium. Okay. The theoretical basis of this technique is the effect of gravity on particles in suspension. Okay. So what the theory will comes in the centrifugation technique is gravity. Okay, gravity of the particle in the suspension. Two particles of different masses will settle in a tube at different rates in response to gravity. Okay, so here the separation of the two particles will be based upon the gravity of the particular particles. Okay, which is involved the decentrification is a process which involves the use of centrifugal force for the sedimentation of heterogeneous mixture with the centrifuge, which is used in the industries and laboratory settings. Okay, so here you are going to separate the particles, separate the molecules by using the centrifugal force. Here, what force involved for separation of the particles. Okay, here what the force name is centrifugal force. Okay, so it is used for sedimentation of heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so this centrifugation process used in various industries and small scale laboratory and small scale laboratories. Okay, so this process is used to separate two immiscible liquids. More dense components of the mixture migrate away from the axis of the centrifuge, while less dense components of the mixture migrate towards the axis. Okay, so your most dense component will be settled down at the bottom of the test tube. Less density compounds will be in the uh, top portion of the test tube, top portion of the centrifuge tube. Or the principle. So the centrifuge is a device for separating the particles from the solution according to the size, shape, density, viscosity of the medium, and rotor speed. Okay. So if you want to separate one of the particles means, if you want to separate the immiscible liquids or any two components, mixture of the components means, the separation fully based on the gravity. Okay. And is also based on the size, shape, density, viscosity of the medium, and rotor speed. Okay, so these also plays an important role for the separation of the component in the mixture. Okay, so in a solution, particles whose density is higher than that of the solvent sink, and the particles are lighter than that is float to the top. Okay, so we already seen. So here, if you are having one mixture of solution, mean if you are doing the centrifugation process, how it happens? The density, which molecules, which biomolecules, which molecules having higher density will be settled down at the bottom. Okay, so it will be sediment, it will be look like a pellet. Okay, and the particles are lighter than it float to the top. Okay, so if the particle having less density will be float on the top of the solution, top of the mixture. Okay, so to take advantage of even tiny differences in the density to separate various particles in solution, gravity can be replaced with a much more powerful centrifugal force provided by the centrifuge. Okay, so we normally settle we can normally separate two components by using the gravity. Okay, so if you are having a mixture of components, we can keep it as such without disturbance means what happen? It will take time to sediment. Okay, but when you apply the centrifugal force, it will not take much time to separate the compound. Okay, so here this centrifugal force only applied in the centrifuge instrument. Okay, so here you can see the here you can see the one test tube. The test tube having a mixture of compound. Okay, so mixture of protein, mixture of DNA, mixture of proteins and DNA. Okay, so when you kept it for the centrifuge, okay, so when you kept it for the separation in the centrifuge tube means you have to place the test tubes in the centrifuge rotor. Okay, the rotor will be like this is the central axis. Okay, this is swinging arm rotor. Okay, so here one sample, this is another sample. You have to always balance the sample. Okay, if you are taken 5 ml of sample means here also you have to take the 5 ml of sample. Okay, so you should be keep the balanced sample like this. Okay, so when you are doing the centrifugation process means what happened here, the sample will be run like this, okay, spin like this. Okay, so you have I already shown some shown one in centrifuge instrument. In that you can see the two knob. One is for the RPM, another one is for the time. Okay, so you can adjust the knob to increase the speed. That is RPM level. Okay, so finally you will get like this. Uh, okay, so here you can the components are separated based on the density. So this compound having higher density, so it will be zinc, and it is having much lesser, much not much. So this middle, this is in the upper. This is having a low density, so it is float on the solution. Okay, what's the principle involved in the centrifugation technique? Okay, so here the basic physics of which the centrifuge works is gravity and generation of centrifugal force to sediment different fraction. Okay, so here this what the basic principle occur in this centrifugation process means gravity and another one is centrifugal force. Okay, here rate of sedimentation, it's fully depend upon the applied centrifugal field. Okay, G. Applied centrifugal field, which is directed radially outside G, depends on angular velocity and radial distance. So angular velocity is represented as omega in radians per second. Radial distance is with this expression or in centimeters of particle from axis of the rotation. Okay, so here what's the basic principle occur in the centrifuge instrument means gravity, another one is centrifugal force. Okay, so here this rate of sedimentation. Rate of sedimentation means what? This is a separation. Okay, so rate of separation is fully based upon the D. Sorry, C. G. Okay, G means applied centrifugal field. So applied centrifugal field, that is G, depends on angular velocity, radial distance. So it is indicated as G equal to omega square R. Okay, so you can see this image, this test tube having a blood sample. Okay, so blood sample centrifuge, you can see the three layers. One is yellow color, white color, and red color. So the red color indicates erythrocytes, and white color is the leukocytes and platelets, and yellow color indicates the plasma. Okay, so when you centrifuge the blood sample, the blood after the once you complete the centrifugation process, it will be look like this. Okay, so this red color part indicates the erythrocytes, and white color part leukocytes. The yellow color part indicates the plasma. Okay, so you can see the image of rotor. Okay, so it will be the rotor. It's the rotor. So it's central axis. Okay, here you have to keep the two test tube. Have you already seen that? You have to balance the tube. If you are going to take 5 ml of sample means you have to take 5 ml of sample here also. Okay, so we should not take more amount of sample here, less amount of sample here. Okay, so it should be balanced one. Okay, so it will be rotating like this. Okay, so before this is a before sample, this is the after sample. Okay, so this is a mixture of components. Okay, so when you centrifuge the process, after the process over, you can see the two part. One is pellet part, one is supernatant part. Okay, so the pellet part is the precipitate. Okay, so finally what you got? What is sedimented? That is the pellet part. Okay, and the liquid portion is supernatant portion. Okay, next, rate of sedimentation. Sedimentation rates. Okay, so fully depend on the factors other than CF. Other than CF means what? Centrifugal force. Okay, So rate of sedimentation also depends on the other factors. What are the factors means? Mass of particle. That is density and volume of the particle. Okay? And density of the medium, shape of the particle, and friction. So these are the factors these are the factors for sedimentation rate. Okay. So mass of particles means mass, mass equal mass or the mass of particle, density, and also volume of the particle, density of the medium. Okay, what is medium you selected? Okay, so water, liquid, water, hexane, methanol, ethanol, okay, shape of the particle, what is shape of, okay, and friction. These are all important factors for the rate of sedimentation. So next we are going to see about the instrumentation process. So it consists of two components. One is electric motor to spin the sample and the rotor to hold the tubes. Okay. Okay. So these are the two important components, motor, another one is rotor. So motor used to spin the sample, rotor used to hold the tubes. So next, centrifuge. What is centrifuge? Centrifuge is a piece of equipment that puts an object in rotation around a fixed axis, applying potentially strong force perpendicular to the axis of the spin. Okay, so centrifuge is an instrument, the equipment. Okay, so you are that puts an object in rotation. Okay, so you are going that rotate the object around the fixed axis. Okay, like a circle. Okay, and it's applying potentially strong force which is perpendicular to the axis of the spin. Okay, the centrifuge works using the sedimentation principle where the centrifugal acceleration causes dangerous substances and particles to move outward the radical direction. Okay, so it is using the sedimentation principle. Okay, sedimentation principle here the centrifugal acceleration causes dangerous substances. Okay, and here what happened? The particles to move outward in the radical direction. The laboratory centrifuge that uses sample tubes, the radical acceleration causes dense particle to settle to the bottom of the tube while low density substances rise to the top. Okay, so in the mostly in the small scale laboratories, they are using the centrifugation technique for separating the compound, and here the radical oxidation. Here radical oxidation will be up here. So this causes denser particles, that is the high density particle will settle at the bottom of the tube and the low density particle will float on the top of the test tube. Okay. So here next one is centrifuge rotor. So centrifuge rotor is a rotating unit of centrifuge which has a fixed holes drilled at an angle. Test tubes are placed inside these holes and the rotor spins to aid in the separation of the particle. Okay, so rotor means the rotating unit. Okay, it is present in the equipment. Okay, so it's a rotating unit of the centrifuge which has a fixed holes. Okay, so you can see the holes here. The hole. Okay, so it is having a fixed hole which is drilled at an angle. Test tubes are placed inside these holes. We are going to place the test tubes inside the hole and the rotor spin to aid in the separation of the material. What are the types of centrifuges? Low speed centrifuge, high speed centrifuge, ultra centrifuge. Okay, so there are three types of centrifuge. One is low speed centrifuge, high speed centrifuge, ultra centrifuge. Okay, so first we are going to see about the low speed centrifuge. So most laboratories have a standard low speed centrifuge used for routine sedimentation of heavy particles. So most small scale laboratory using this centrifuge equipment for doing the sedimentation of heavy particles. The low speed centrifuge has a maximum speed of 4,000 to 6,000 RPM. Okay, so it's having a maximum speed of 4,000 to 6,000 RPM. So these instruments usually operate at room temperature, which means of temperature control. So it is mostly this instrument you are going to, if you are using this temperature, this instrumentation means it be operated in the room temperature. Okay, and it having the temperature control also. So two types of rotors are used in it. One is fixed angle rotor, another is swinging bucket rotor. So we have seen the rotor. Okay, so this is the rotor, right? So this is like that. You can have a two types of rotors are used in the low speed centrifuge. One is fixed angle rotor, another one is swinging bucket rotor. So this rotor, next low speed centrifuge is used for sedimentation of red blood cells until the particles are tightly packed into pellet and supernatant is separated by the decantation. Okay, so mostly this centrifuge, the low speed centrifuge is used for separation of red blood cells. Okay, so this is the low speed centrifuge. Okay, you can see the low speed centrifuge. So here this is to indicate the speed. Okay, RPM, and here the time. Okay, so from that you can adjust. You can see this is the rotor. So this is a tube. Okay, they already kept the that bias. Okay, so this is the low speed centrifuge. Another one is high speed. Another types of centrifuges, high speed centrifuge. High speed centrifuge are used in more sophisticated biochemistry application, higher speeds and temperature control of the rotor chamber or essence. Okay, so it is most sophisticated biochemical application. It's having the highest speeds and it's also having the temperature control and of the rotor chamber or essential. Okay, so because when the rotor are spinning at the time, it generates the heat. Okay, so for that we need temperature control. Okay, so most that's why it's used for the more biochemical application. Okay, so the operator of this instrument can carefully control speed and temperature, which is required for sensitive biological samples. Okay, so these are all very sensitive and biological sample. So three types of rotors available for high speed centrifugation: fixed angle, swinging bucket, and vertical vector. So in this, temperature maintained at 0 to 4 degrees Celsius by means of thermocouples. We already seen the first point. Okay, so it's having the temperature control. So from that you can control the temperature. Okay, so what's the temperature level means 0 to 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, so you just used to collect microorganisms, cell debris, cells, large cellular organelles, precipitates of chemical reactions. So these are all you can done by using this high speed centrifuge. Okay, or it is also useful in isolating subcellular organelles like nuclei, mitochondria, and lysosomes. So these are all um, uh, useful things for doing the by using the centrifugation, that is high speed centrifugation. Okay, so it is used for more sophisticated biochemical application. It having higher speeds and the temperature control of the rotor chamber, and it is operate at operator of this instrument can be, you can control the speed and you can control the temperature. Okay, so what's the RPM level is 4,000 to 10,000. Okay, and what are the types of vectors are used means three types of vectors used: fixed angle, swinging bucket, and vertical rotor. What the temperature you can maintain by in this high speed centrifugation means 0 to 4 degree Celsius. Next, we are going to see about the so this is the image of high speed centrifuge. So it will be look like this. Okay, so you can see this type of centrifuge in most of the industries. Okay, so next one, ultra centrifuge. It's the most sophisticated instrument. Intense heat is generated due to high speed. Thus, the spinning chamber must be refrigerated and kept at high vacuum. Kept at high vacuum. So it is used for both preparative work and is also analytical work. Okay. So it is used for both preparative and for analytical work. So it is operate at 75,000 RPM. So ultracentrifuge operate at 75,000 RPM. What is centrifugal force involved means 5 lakh gram. That is 500,000 gram for of centrifugal force in the ultracentrifuge. Or rotor sample is sealed and evacuated by pump to attain the vacuum. Okay, so here rotor chamber is also available in the ultracentrifuge. What is the refrigerator temperature of this ultracentrifuge means 0 to 4 degree Celsius. Okay, so centrifugation used for isolation, purification of component is known as preparative centrifugation, which is someone carried out for characterization is known as the analytical centrifugation. So there are two centrifugation we have seen. One is preparative, another one is analytical, right? So the preparative used for isolation of and purification of component, and analytical used for carry out the characterization part. So you can see the picture of ultracentrifuge. Okay, so this is the picture of ultracentrifuge. So next, you can see the types of ultracentrifugation. So there are two types of ultracentrifugation: analytical ultracentrifugation, preparative ultracentrifugation. So again, this preparative ultracentrifugation divided into two types. One is density gradient centrifugation, another one is differential centrifugation. Okay, so this is the classification of ultracentrifugation. Ultracentrifuge again divided into two types: analytical and preparative. Again, preparative can have two types: density gradient, and another one is what? Differential centrifugation. So first we are going to see about the preparative centrifugation. So preparative centrifugation, it is a act. It's used for isolation of biological material for subsequent biochemical investigation. So it's used for biochemical investigation. So it is divided into two main techniques, depending on the suspension medium in which separation occurs. Okay, so these two techniques, these again, this preparative centrifugation again divided into two types. One is um, differential centrifugation, another one is density gradient centrifugation. So preparative centrifugation divided into two types. One is differential centrifugation, that is homogeneous medium, density gradient medium. Homogeneous medium is an example, differential centrifugation. Density gradient medium example, density gradient centrifugation. So what is analytical centrifugation? So here, what's the speed of analytical centrifugation ranges 70,000 RPM. What is RCF means? 5 lakh gram. Okay. So here, what are the systems are available? What are the components are there in the analytical centrifugation means? Motor, rotor, chamber. That is everything refrigerated and evaporated and optical system. So these are all components are present in analytical centrifugation. So you can see the picture of analytical centrifugation here. Here it have two optical systems. One is light absorption system, Scalarian system, and Raylock interferometric system. Okay, that is, it has a light absorption, three systems. That is light absorption system, Scalarian system, and Raylock interferometric system. And this analytical ultracentrifugation having two cells. One is analytical cells, another one is counterpoise cells. Okay, so what are the optics are used in this technique means Scalarian optics and Rayleigh interference optics. So these two optics are used in analytical centrifugation. At the beginning, peak of refractive index will be at meniscus. Okay, so we can see the at the beginning stage it will be the peak of refractive index, or okay, or a value will be in the meniscus. With progress sedimentation, macromolecules move down the peak strips, giving direct information about the sedimentation characteristics. So from the peak, okay, from the peak, you can get the information about the sedimentation characteristics. So here we can see the table of types of centrifugation and its application. Okay. So for what are the types means, we already seen low speed centrifuge, high speed centrifuge, ultra centrifuge. Okay. So first we are going to see the RPM. Okay, that is the range of speed. Okay, so revolution per minute. Okay, so what's the RPM level for low speed centrifugation is 1 to 6,000 RPM for high speed, 1,000 to 25,000 for ultra centrifuge, 20,000 to 80,000. So this is the RPM it's revolution per minute, the speed of the different centrifuge. Okay, and RCF. What's the maximum RCF? That is relative centrifugal force. Okay, so for low speed 6,000, for high speed 50,000, and also ultra centrifuge is 6 lakh. Okay, this is the RCF value for the different type of centrifuge. Next, refrigeration system. Some low speed centrifuge have the refrigeration system, but both the high speed and ultra centrifuge having the refrigerator, that is temperature controller. Okay, and pelleting of cells for low speed, yes, in high speed, yes, and ultra speed. That is, we can do the separation of the cells, separation of the cells. Okay, and pelleting of nuclei. That also we can do by using the three types of centrifuge. pelleting of organelles. Okay, so that we can't do by using the low speed centrifuge, but we can do by using the uh, high speed and ultra centrifuge. Next, pelleting of ribosomes that we can't do by using low speed and also high speed centrifuge. And we can, if you want to do the separation process in the ribosomes, means we should do ultra centrifuge. Okay. Next, pelleting of macromolecules, that's also we can't do by using the low speed and high speed centrifuge, but we can do by using the ultra centrifuge. As the application of centrifugation technique in clinical laboratory, centrifugation is used to remove the cellular elements from the blood to provide cell-free plasma or serum for analysis purpose. Okay, so if you want to do any analysis purpose, means you can select the centrifugation process to separate the plasma or serum from the blood. Okay, so remove chemically precipitated protein from an analytical specimen. You can use this centrifugation process to uh, chemical by the analytical system. Separate the protein bound from free ligand, immunochemical and other assays. Okay, that is what we can do by using centrifugation. Separation of subcellular organelle, that is DNA and RNA. That is what we can do by centrifugation. So it is used to extract solutes in biological fluids from aqueous to organic solvent. It is used to separate the lipid components. What are the applications? The waste water treatment. Okay, water treatment means is used to separate the solid substances from highly concentrated substance and separate the heavy particles and large size grains by cycloning, and it is used to separate the oily concentrated sludge and is used to separation of oily suspensions. The application of water treatment. So other application of uh, centrifugation is separation of chalk powder from water, removing fat from milk to produce skimmed milk, and it's used to separating the textiles, separating some of the textile compound like okay, so waste product that can be separated by using the centrifugation technique, and you can removing water from lettuce after washing it in a salad spinner. Okay, and separating particle from an airflow using cyclonic separation. Okay. Next, so the clarification and stabilization of wine, that is also we can do by centrifugation. Separation of water particles from clothes while spin drying in washing machine, that is also done by centrifugation. So we can separate urine components and blood components in forensic and research laboratory. So these are all application of centrifugation techniques.